The next thing I want to show you is a cute flower embellishment that we're going to add to our Sweet Stitches bag that we've made with the Scallop Square die. And if you haven't seen this tutorial for using the Scallop Square die to make the larger panels, then you will want to go ahead and watch my video on that. But this video, we're going to do some embellishing. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my perfect setting die, which, let's see, can you see that? This die actually has some kind of cool trim pieces in it, and this piece right here is actually meant to be a cupcake holder or surrounder, and this was a little treat that Stampin' Up! Had made for some of us demonstrators at a Demonstrator reward event. And isn't that sweet? They just put the cupcake center in it, and then there was a little treat inside there. So that gives you an idea of this perfect setting die and something that you can do. But we're going to do something a little different. So I have my perfect setting die here, and when you're using the Big Shot to cut fabric, and you're using these big XL dies, and they're marked XL in the catalog, and then you want to use the extended cutting plates. Can you see how much longer these are than the regular ones? That's regular. Here's the long one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is still the same sandwich, and I'm going to take a piece of the little girl fabric here and go ahead and lay it on my die so that it covers the important parts, and meaning the scallops. If I get the little corners cut off, I'm not going to worry about that too much because those are going to be underneath our flower embellishment anyway. And then I'm just going to give this a nudge and crank it through. And we're just cutting one layer of fabric right now because we only need one piece of this. So here is our cut piece of that. And then the next thing, I'm going to go through and punch out all those little holes because that kind of adds some cute interest to our flowers. And then I'm going to use my smaller cutting pads again and a little piece of the, here we go, button fabric that goes with Sweet Stitches, and I'm going to use that with the scallop circle die number 2. And this one has 2 different scallop circle sizes and is a die that I use all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this piece on here, and I could use my big plates for this too, but the small ones are a little, it takes less cranking to put them through, right? So I'll go ahead and crank that through. And now I have a flower center. I know it doesn't look like a flower center now, but it will when we're finished. Alright. What I'm going to do with this piece of the perfect setting die is go ahead and turn it into a flower. So I'm going to start with my needle and my thread and go ahead and start on the top. So if you're missing this corner, then go ahead and start in, but otherwise you'd start at the corner. And all I'm going to do is gather this back and forth. So if you're a new stitcher, new sewer, new seamstress, however you say that, this is really easy. All you're going to do is just kind of go up, down, and I'd like to make my stitches here, I guess, about maybe a little more than 1/8 of an inch. So, but really you can do whatever works best for you. And so I'm just kind of gathering that all on my needle, and I'm going to go all the way across the bottom edge of our piece of the perfect setting die. And my finger's feeling much better. If you were concerned about my Toy Story Band-Aid being missing, I'm all healed by now. So, okay, and then I'm going to try and end with an up so that our fabric is going to meet up nicely with the end of the flower on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that all the way through my needle and gather that. Ouch, I just stabbed myself. I'm going to need another Band-Aid. Go ahead and pull that all the way through. And then we have our ends here, and all I'm going to do is where my knot is, I'm going to go ahead and go down again through that knot, or right next to the knot. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring my flower to a close. So our 2 ends meet like so. Alright, see how that works? Okay, so this is kind of a neat 3D flower. And then to hold that and keep it from coming apart, all I'm going to do is flip it to the back and just, let's see, we'll tighten that just a little again. Just stitch back and forth to gather that again. Okay. Alright, so we've got that all. I don't want to cinch it too tight because I want my petals to be flat. Then I'm going to go ahead and tie that off. Is this enough dangling fabric in the middle of the air for you? Okay. Alright. So now we have our flower stitched together. See how that works? And turned out nicely with those little holes on it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out a button from my designer big buttons, the sweet stitches that match our purse. And let's see, I might go with a pink one. So we're going to have our button fabric here and get this all layered together. And I'm going to go ahead and put our scallop circle right in the center, and then layer my pink button right on top of that. And then I'm going to take my needle and go ahead and stitch my button on, which I'm pretty sure you don't need to see me watch me stitch a button on. But the gist of it also is that I'm trying to catch the edges of my fabric, the edges of my flower, ooh, too close, the edges of my flower here when I do my stitching, so that it will help hold the flower together for wear and tear. Alright. Now when I'm done with that, what I'm going to do is go ahead and take my flower, and I'm just going to stitch it right here at the edge of my handle on my purse. And so we'll go ahead and just put that right on there. And then after I have it all stitched together, then here is our finished cute little bag. So the back and the front, the sides, there's the open. So all kinds of fun things could fit in here. And depending on when I get this video uploaded, I may be on my way to Nashville, sitting in a car ride and working on 10 of these to go to my Loven Stampfuls team members who are going to the leadership conference with me. Because as demonstrators, one of the things we like to do is swap card ideas, and so this is the perfect size to go ahead and put some card ideas in and then carry around to swap with other demonstrators. And then I will get a variety of cool ideas to take home with me to use for all kinds of Stampin' Up! Events. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed our embellishment project and our box project with the square die for the big shot. And if you have any questions, be sure to visit my website or my blog at lovenstamps.com/blog. Thanks very much.